Thank you, my beloveds. Thank you. Thank you, John. That was so powerful. That prayer is one of the most powerful technologies in this whole universe. I've seen and I've been experiencing the reality of that. I really feel that because of all of your prayers and all of your love, I've been going through this rather seamlessly thus far. Thus far. But the title of my talk is Life is Beautiful No Matter What. I've been in awe of how this diagnosis, this appearance of disease in my life has brought me to a heightened sense of awareness. Everything just seems so magnificent. Everything I'm savoring moments unlike before. I do have to say that once I discovered this philosophy, the New Thought philosophy, and I began to practice it and not just know it, but I began to embody it more, I remember feeling that life was beautiful no matter what. But this has just heightened this sensation. And so the day of my first chemo session, I just remember looking at the sky, the brightness of the sky, and feeling that everybody at this Dana-Farber were angels of compassion all around, and that I was with my brothers and sisters in the sea of humanity. And I just realized, wow, no matter what we're going through, life is beautiful because there is always good to be found in the midst of the challenges. So, my beloveds, let us explore today. Oh, my cat is meowing. I'm sorry, she's right next to me. I hope she's not interrupting. Today, let us come together to explore this profound truth. Life is beautiful, no matter what the trials or tribulations we may be facing. I remember I've always felt a deep affinity with my Jewish brothers and sisters. It might be a past life, I don't know. I've just always felt this affinity. And I always said, well, if I were ever placed in a dungeon or as an African descended person in the bottom of a ship again, or facing some trial, I would sometimes imagine myself in the Inquisition. I have a big mouth, so I probably wouldn't have lasted long during that period. I love history. I've always said, how would I face it? How would I face the challenge? Would I leave this life with bitterness and regret and anger that my life was cut short or I had to go through a violent end, or would I choose the positive perspective? And I think that's all of us. That is the call. How are we willing to live? It's less about focusing about dying, but how are we willing to live? So, in a world often clouded by darkness and despair, it's essential to remember the inherent beauty that permeates every aspect of existence. So I had a challenging night a few nights ago. I've been completely healthy. It was very funny being at the hospital and being asked what I was allergic to because I've never been in a hospital. I take no medications. So I said, I don't know what I'm allergic to. And I had a feeling that evening of, I don't know if I can do this. And I awoke to my iPad being on, and there was a elder Jewish woman who had just been released from Hamas. And I share this because it was so profound for me, because I was feeling sorry for myself. I think she's in her 70s or 80. And she'd been held for 47 days and just recently released. And she became the go-between as she was riding through Gaza. Someone removed her glasses, so she spent most of the 47 days blind. She couldn't really see without her glasses, and they had been ripped off of her face. When she was taken, her husband of 35 years, who I really believe they were soulmates, before he was killed and shot. He blew her, he winked at her, and he blew her a kiss. I know that that man is in the highest heavens. He smiled, he winked at her, and he blew her a kiss. So she said that that helped to frame her mindset of how she would go through this when she was kidnapped by Hamas. She became the go-between between the soldiers and the people that were being held. There was a 4-year-old girl and all elders. And she would ask them not to come in with their machine gun pointed up because the little girl cried day and night for 47 days. So they said she was able to touch their hearts and they lowered their machine guns. She also said to one of the soldiers in charge, I don't have my heart medication and I need to walk to keep my circulation going. And so she would walk through the tunnels, practically blinded. She made the rice that all 12 of the hostages that she was being held with would eat from one plate with 6 spoons. And they would all take tablespoons until the plate of rice was done. And they all slept on one mattress, 12 people attempting to sleep on a mattress, and they would take turns. And the mattress became soaked with water and sweat and everything else. And she said it was dark and damp. And when they told her she was going home after 47 days, she had an elder friend who was in her 80s, who has asthma, who didn't have her asthma medication. And she said, I'm making up a name, take Rebecca, don't take me. I can accept to die here. Take Rebecca, she's not breathing, she's going to die soon. And so as I listened to this, my beloveds, and I saw and heard after she was taken and released that this 80-something-year-old woman held for 47 days had become a channel for God, a channel for love, was fearless, was the go-between. And there was an incident where her neighbors were 2 younger men who fought the Hamas soldiers. And they were put in solitary confinement, each of them. And she was able to ask if these 2 young men could visit with the group, but during the time they were held. And I thought, Lord, I know I'm going through stuff, but wow, I'm being loved by your hand. I have nurses who are asking me if I want ginger ale, orange juice, and water. I have beloveds who are praying for me. I'm in the best healthcare mecca of the world. I have no problems. And then she was asked if she held anything in her heart against these young Hamas soldiers. And she said, no, I've forgiven them. And I want Israel to stop killing the little children of Gaza. That's when I knew that no matter what circumstances we are going through, we can choose to make life beautiful. It is a spiritual practice. It is a choice. It is a mindset. So consider the majesty of nature, the vibrant colors of a sunrise, the gentle rustle of leaves in the wind, the awe-inspiring power of a thunderstorm. Even in the midst of chaos, even in the midst of trials and tribulations, there is a beauty that transcends our understanding, reminding us of the divine hand that guides all of life and creation. This woman, this Bubby, this grandmother was the embodiment of the divine feminine mother. God is mother, courageous, loving, even in the valley of the shadow of death. So let us draw some inspiration from the scriptures. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? So if this 80-year-old puppy was not afraid, being held for 47 days in the darkness, without her glasses, without her family, without her medication, whom am I to be afraid, my beloveds? Who are we? It was just so moving. I thought I had problems. Oh, and I realized I did not. And we know that all things God works for the good of those who love him and who have been called according to his purpose. So my prayer, she felt so guilty that she had to leave her friends. And she cannot believe that she's been chosen. So my prayer has been that God will heal her and she will be restored to inner peace. She's on my prayer list. For his anger lasts a moment, God is never angry, but his favor lasts a lifetime. Weeping may stay for the night, but rejoicing comes in the morning. God gives us beauty for ashes, my beloved. These passages remind us, even in the darkest moments, there is hope. God shines, God's light shines brightly. So, what are some key thoughts? Practices we can cultivate, practices we can do to cultivate the spiritual mindset that life is beautiful no matter what. 1, savor the moment. Look around you and take it all in. Breathe in every moment. It's precious. It's magical. I'm choosing to see this journey as an adventure because it is. I never expected it. It's an adventure, all right. Practice gratitude. This beautiful elder was grateful for the rice plate that they all shared. They actually, one of their neighbors was a historian. So they asked him to give lectures every single day on different points in history so they could keep their minds uplifted. And they said nothing about the Holocaust. We don't want anything sad, but let's talk about everything else in history. They kept their minds uplifted, being held in dark tunnels. So practice gratitude, my beloveds. Find and write down 3 to 5 things that you're grateful for. Gratitude heals everything. 3, celebrate global holidays as spiritual portals. I'm in green today because I looked up the spiritual significance of St. Patrick's Day. And St. Patrick was given to us as an archetype to remind us to be on fire for God, to be on fire for the triune nature of God, body, mind, and spirit, Son, Father, and Holy Ghost. That the three leaves, it was actually the 4 of the shamrock, but the 3 represented the triune nature of God, and that the Celts had to unify in their understanding that there is one almighty power above all, and that we should be on fire for God, uniting the body, mind, and spirit with the lush reality of Gaia, the green, celebrating the natural world as God's creation. Every single global holiday that you're attracted to is a portal for you to awaken and to practice the presence of God even deeper. It doesn't matter if you come from the culture, if you feel an affinity, use it as a day to align even more deeply with spirit. And this is what I'm doing today. So 4, pray affirmatively without ceasing. We don't have to beg God. I'm saying a lot of help me, help me, help me, but I'm also affirming that I'm radiantly whole, healthy, wealthy, and well. Sing a jingle, make up your own jingle. I'm healthy, wealthy, whole and well. I'm healthy, wealthy, whole and well. I'm healthy, wealthy, whole and well. And God is in charge of my life. I'm healthy, wealthy, whole and well. I'm healthy, wealthy, whole and well. I'm healthy, wealthy, whole and well. And God is in charge of my life. So make up your jingle, make up your affirmative song. It bypasses the conscious mind. It goes straight into the subconscious, which is the seat of the soil of creation and manifestation. Meditate. 1 minute, 5 minute, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. The same way we are obsessed with charging our phones. Charge yourself up with God. Allow God to wash away the weariness and get that ultraviolet, electronic, electric, vital, vibrant energy from the Most High. And meditation does that. Engage your creativity. I'm going to start painting soon. I have a girlfriend who's a painter, and she's put up an easel in her house with me, for me. And I've always loved painting. I'm going back to those things that good. Robert Awkward. Bob said, I like that. Charge myself up as we charge up our phones. Yes, Bob. So engage your creativity, dance, sing, write a silly poem, write something you don't think is good. It doesn't matter. Stop judging yourself. God is the greatest creator, and we are made in the image and likeness of the eternal artist. Walk in nature. Be in nature, especially it's been so mild out. 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Breathe in that air. Bless Gaia for holding us. Even this beautiful Jewish Babi grandmother took care of her health. She walked through these dark tunnels in the dark while she was held for 47 days. She didn't give up. She committed to life and health and wholeness. Celebrate life, my beloveds. Celebrate life. Life is beautiful, no matter what. God is wonderful, no matter what. In this world, there will be trials and tribulations, but I have overcome the world. Your I am presence can overcome these trials and tribulations and learn to live fully and to know that life is beautiful no matter what. And so it is. Amen.